to tell you that I knew one word that could change your life. One word that could make you go from good to great. One word that could make you reach your goals and get you where you wanted to go. You'd probably say, I'm crazy. Well, I'm going to tell you what that one word is, but first I'm going to tell you a story. This story is about a little girl. This little girl grew up in some of the poorest conditions that you can imagine. She lived at her mother's house, sometimes her father's house, sometimes her grandmother's house, but one thing was always consistent. Her circumstances were always struggling. We all know this little girl now. She's not a little girl anymore, as Oprah Winfrey. So, what makes the difference of people who continue to struggle and those that change the circumstances in their life to make a good life for themselves and for others? I used to get so discouraged in my psychology classes when I'd read statistics like, married people with divorced parents are twice as likely to get a divorce than those that come from families that are intact. Here's another one. Children who are abused are more likely to become abusers themselves. People with ADHD are more likely to have problems at work, trouble controlling anger, and poor organization skills. So, are we just stuck in our circumstances?
No.
There's two ways that we can look at our life. First is a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is when you look at your life and your circumstances and you believe that's how it is. That's how it's always going to be. And it's not changeable. Oh, it's just my personality, you'll say. You do you. I can't change. Those are all fixed mindset statements. Another way to look at your life is with a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the opposite, and it makes you look at life in a completely different way. You are no longer set in stone. Life is moldable, changeable. People can change and grow and become better. Failure isn't the end. It's the beginning, with just another notch in your belt to know what not to do next time so you can get even closer to success. Now, do you guys remember that word I was talking about at the beginning that can change your life? That word is yet. Yet can change your life because, well, I'm going to let you guys try it yourself. Everybody think of something that you can't do, that you would like to. And tell yourself in your mind, I can't blank. Okay, now add the word yet to the end of your sentence. I can't play the piano yet. Okay, we're gonna play a game now. I'm gonna say something I can't do and you guys are gonna say yet, okay? I can't run a marathon.
Yes.
I can't play the piano.
Yes.
I can't speak another language.
Yes.
Thank you guys. You guys are so awesome. Saying that one word can literally flip a switch in your brain. You can no longer not do the things that you want to do. You are changeable. You are moldable. You can grow. I'm going to tell you guys another story about another little girl right here. This little girl was born in a completely different time as the other little girl, but she had her own struggles. This little girl struggled with her weight ever since she was tiny. She also struggled in school. She had a really hard time understanding concepts. She could hardly read when she was little. She was really behind the class, and she had a really hard time focusing. Now, don't get me wrong, she also had some great things going for her. She was really good at making friends, and she had an awesome family and a really good support system. But she knew that her weight and her education were very, very important to her. So she decided that she wasn't going to let that stand in her way of being the person that she wanted to be. So as you guys all know, that little girl's me. And I didn't know of that magical word yet when I was little, but I have always been determined. I have always wanted to become a better person, and I knew that those things that were important needed to happen. So even as a little kid, I figured out how to lose the weight, which was not easy. I also figured out how to make school work for me, which also was not easy. I ended up going to college, as you know, and getting almost all A's. And 4 weeks I'll graduate with my bachelor's, and I don't want to stop there. Believe in the power of yet. You guys aren't who you are today. You won't be that forever as long as you decide that. Life is hard, but it's either hard from regrets of the things that you didn't do, or it's hard from discipline. One of my favorite quotes is, whether you think you can or you can't, either way, you're right. I believe this to be so true. Studies have shown that success does not come from IQ. Success does not come from talent. Success comes from grit. Now, don't try to tell me that you guys don't have grit, because you know that my answer will be, you don't have grit yet. Now, these are some pictures of some amazing companies that everybody knows. Everybody has to start somewhere. If you look at these, they started in garages, in sheds. These are the lowest of the low. I mean, I wouldn't want to be working from my garage, but they all had to start somewhere. Let's talk about Amazon for a minute. Jeff Bezos is the owner and founder of Amazon. When they started Amazon, they would literally ring a bell. They used to just sell books, and they'd ring a bell every time they got an order. And everybody would just gather around and look at the computer to see if that order was from a family or a friend. Now, I just laugh. I can't help but thinking them still doing that right now, ringing a bell every time they got an order. Jeff Bezos is now known as the richest man in the world. We all have to start somewhere. Every great story happened when someone decided not to give up. Let's talk about Walt Disney for a minute. Walt Disney struggled with ADHD. Now, if you guys remember my statistics at the beginning about ADHD, they have problems at work, trouble controlling anger, and poor organization skills. Boy, did Walt go against statistics. Believe in yourself. If you guys have a dream, go for it. Believe in it. And don't forget to tell yourself, yet. Thank you.